I got me an idea, and I'ma put it to work, and I'ma gauge my progress by the sign of the word. Now I ain't yet a success, but yes, the word that I stress, cause by the time you hear the CD, count the steps that I've left, I'm passing on to you.
Up in the morning before the sun, that's the way the job is done. Up in the morning before the sun, that's the way the job is done. Ha ha! Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is Monday, another edition of Make It Happen Mondays. You heard? All right, so check this out. I'm alive, right? I got another day to be able to not only set, but continue to the trajectory of living phenomenal. You heard? So I got gas in my car, right? The power's on in my house. I got heat in my house. I got food in the refrigerator. You're probably thinking to yourself like, yo, man, come on, man. Obviously, those are the basic things to have. And I'm like, nah, man, listen, you just because most people, I'm not even saying most, just because a lot of people, maybe a lot of people that you know, maybe everybody you know has gas in the car, got their power turned on, got their heat turned on, got food in the refrigerator. Those are not small little things. You don't believe me? Have them taken away from you. Have them taken away from you and then tell me how small they are, right? Benjamin Franklin said in his almanac, it's not going to be a direct quote, but you never miss the water until the well runs dry, right? You know, in other words, you don't never miss that gas in your car until it don't turn on, right? You don't never miss that heat in your house until that joint is cold as heck. You know what I mean? You don't never miss that food in your refrigerator until you open it up and you ain't got nothing but a box of baking soda. You know what I'm saying? Like, those are not small nor insignificant things. You feel me? All right? Now, if you're sitting here saying that they are, you are literally just walking past your blessings, not even paying them no mind. You just walking right past the thousands of blessings that you already have. You got to change that paradigm, man. Do not move another day forward without recognizing and realizing that those are indeed blessings. All right, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get right into it. Today, this Make It Happen Monday, I got 3 points for you, all right? We're going to cover those 3 points, and hopefully that's enough to inspire you. That's enough to motivate you to be able to do what you need to do to make it happen for yourself, right? To be able to continue all your days phenomenal, all right? So, number 1, I hear people telling me all the time, they're like, Pablo, man, I understand what you're saying. You're saying to be positive, right? But, yo, it ain't working. Let me tell you something. I'm positive that I can't do this. Or I'm positive that this ain't going to happen. All right, okay, so you know what? You got these little witty comebacks to be able to tell me the reasons why it won't be able to happen, right? Fine. Check this out. You're right. Like I told you before, whether you say you can or you can't, you absolutely right. But listen to the mantra. Watch me make it happen. Right? That's why I say it. Watch me make it happen. Now, you say it. You say it and see what it is. See what it is that comes out of it. Go ahead, say it with me. Watch me make it happen. Watch me make it happen. Right inside of it, it says make it happen. And you are the one that has to do it. Nothing is going to change unless you do something. Make it happen. Right in the mantra, it means that you need to do something in order for it to happen. Right? That's step 1. Do something. You need to do something. You need to take action. Okay? It requires you to do something. Take that first step. Right? You've been doing whatever it is that you've been doing, and you've been getting the result of it. Right? Let me say this a different way. You've been not doing whatever you have not been doing, and you've been getting the result from it. Notice, you didn't hear me say it was a positive result, but you got a result from it, right? Whatever it is that you do or you don't do, you're going to get the result for that, right? So whatever you are today, wherever spot that you are in today, wherever you are in life today is because of decisions that you made yesterday. Decisions to either act a certain way or decisions not to act a certain way. But what you are today and where you are right now is because of the decisions that you made yesterday. Right? They say that the definition of insanity is doing the same exact thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Right? You're going to sit here and get pissed because you don't get the prize for something that you didn't put any work in for. Right? You ain't getting no kind of trophy. You ain't getting no kind of reward. You know what I'm saying? But if you didn't put the work in, You ain't gonna do it. You gotta be in the race in order to place, right? You ain't never gonna make it onto the podium, right? And let's say you one of the people, everybody getting a participation trophy. You ain't even getting the participation trophy unless you participating in it, right? Check this out. I did a couple triathlons back in the day, right? And I did it so that I can test myself, right? I wanted to stretch myself. I felt like I was super fit. I felt like I was on top of my game. And I said, you know what? I got to put myself in a different room. So newsflash, I'm not a triathlete, right? So I was in it for the participation trophy. And I did all three of them, and I got my participation trophy. But I needed to make it happen. I had to change whatever it was that I was doing, right? So that I can put myself in the position so that I can then participate in that triathlon and then receive the participation trophy. I had to make it happen, and that's exactly what I did. But too many of y'all sitting here trying to not even participate and still get the reward for doing it. That's not going to happen. You got to be in it to win it. You see what I'm saying? You can sit here and you can keep on talking about how, my leg, or, I can't necessarily do this because I don't have the time. Or you can keep coming up with witty responses as to explain why it is you can't do something or won't do something, or why life ain't fair or something like that. Go ahead, because you're going to reap the results of those actions and those decisions that you're making, or that lack of action that you're making, right? Wherever you are right now, that's exactly where you're going to be tomorrow. And even worse, potentially, you can even be in a worse place than you are today tomorrow because of those actions. You have to change your course just like I did in order to be able to get the desired results. If I didn't change my course and start training for that triathlon, if I never took that first step and just signed up for the triathlon, I would have never achieved those desired results. You see what I'm saying? You need to change your course and take action in order to even get closer to reaching and achieving those desired results. You need to make it happen. You need to do something. You can't do the same exact thing and expect something else to happen. That is literally the definition of insanity. But you already know this if you're sitting here watching this and you recognize that you really haven't done anything because you are in the exact same place that you were in yesterday. You reap what you sow, right? So what does that tell me? That means that you need to sow some good seeds, right? Check this out. My son came home a couple years back, right? In school, he came back with this little plastic cup with some dirt in it, right? And he came home and he was like, "Papi, look, if I take this, they told me to make sure I water it, to put it out in the sun, and a plant is gonna grow out of it." And I was like, "All right, son, well, what did you do?" He go, "Oh, we took it, we put some soil in it, we put a seed in the dirt, and we covered it up, and the teacher said as long as I put water in it and I make sure that it gets sun, that a plant is gonna grow out of it." And he was super duper excited, right? Because he already envisioned it. He was able to paint that picture in his mind of exactly what was going to happen, right? And I said, "All right, son, well, let's go ahead and do it," right? And we did it. And at night, he went and he looked at the dirt to see if anything came out. No. He made sure he touched it. So, okay, right, got enough water in it. You know what I'm saying? Next morning, woke up, did the same thing. He's checking it. Oh, man, right before he went to go to school, checked it. "Papi, is this enough water?" "Yeah." "Oh, let's put it in a place where it's going to collect all the right sun." Went to school, came back, checked it again. He did this for like 2-3 days. And he's coming, "Papi, it's not working." Right? And I was like, "No, son." So I sat him down. I said, "Son, check this out. What did you do? What did you do?" And he said, I put the seed in the dirt." I said, "Okay, cool, right? We did that. So now what else? What are we supposed to do now? What responsibility do we have now?" And he said, "We're supposed to make sure it's got water and make sure it's got sunlight." I said, "All right, cool. Well, check it. Have we been doing that?" And he's like, "Yeah, Papi, we have." I said, "All right, cool. Well, you know what? Check this out. It's a process, son. It's a process, right? So let's just enjoy this process and let's get it going, right?" And, he looked a little defeated. I was like, "It's okay, son. We got to follow this process." And, how you going to sit there and explain to a little kid that, "Oh, no, it's the process," right? I'm talking to you right now. And I'm hoping that this example starts to resonate with you, right? Because it is all part of the process. You see what I'm saying? So my son, diligent, right? He kept on making sure that thing had water in it, albeit his energy level was a little bit lower than it was that first day, right? But he kept making sure that thing had water. He kept making sure that thing was in the sunlight. And then one day, he came home. And he came home from school, and he went and he looked at that dirt, and wouldn't you know it, there was a little bit of this green blade, this little stem that just came up out of the dirt. And this boy celebrated like you wouldn't believe. He was like, Poppy, I swear he won the lottery or something like that. He goes, look, it's growing. And he was so happy. And I was like, all right, son. And don't you know, I celebrated right along with him, right? Small victories. I mean, he was so happy that this little itty bitty little green stem made its way through the dirt. And he did it, right? He did it. I'm telling you, and that brings us to step 2. Okay? Consistency. That's what step 2 is. You need to keep doing what it is that you're doing once you have changed that course, right? And you need to trust that process, all right? Consistency. If you ain't got consistency in what it is that you're doing, you're never going to make it forward, right? Because I don't care if it's that you're trying to lose weight. I don't care if that you're trying to get your push-ups up. You're trying to knock out 100 push-ups in one shot. I don't know if you're trying to learn how to play a guitar. I don't know if you're just trying to whatever it is, okay? You trying to get your degree, whatever it is that you're trying to do, it's not going to work by just doing one push-up, right? It's not going to work by eating one salad, right? You feel me? It's not going to work by, I went out and I bought the best guitar that there is. Okay, great. It ain't going to work if that's where you stop. You need to keep it moving, right? You got to keep going. That process is what makes the outcome that much sweeter, right? You don't believe me? You don't believe me? Check this out. I mean, I'm sure you sitting here saying, yo, look, if somebody would just give me what it is I'm looking for, I'd feel a whole lot better. I'm telling you right now, I feel better. Okay, yeah, instant gratification. That's what you're talking about, right? Instant gratification. But check this out. Let's bring it back to that blade of grass, right? The reason why my son hit the lottery on that one, in his mind, he hit the lottery on that one, he accomplished it, is because he made it happen, right? My son passes by thousands and thousands of blades or grass or stems of greenery that come out of the dirt every day on his way to school and on his way back from school, right? I'm talking about the grass. I'm talking about bushes. I'm talking about flowers. I'm talking about trees, and he don't pay him no mind, right? That's the same thing as we was just talking about the gas in the car, the food in the refrigerator, right? The heat in the house. He don't pay it no kind of mind. You know why? Because he didn't make it happen, right? If you don't make it happen, the outcome ain't gonna be as sweet. I'm telling you that right now. But because he was the one that planted that seed, he was the one that made sure I had enough water. He was the one that made sure that jump had enough sunlight. When just a little bit came out of that grass, he was like, yeah, I did it. And that's exactly how you can be feeling, right? If you trust the process. That process is what it is that makes life so sweet. That's what you got to fall in love with. You need to do what you're going to do, and you need to be consistent with it. Otherwise, it's all going to fall apart on you. Don't let it fall apart. You are living each day. You're putting in something into somewhere, right? You might as well aim it towards something it is that you want to do and then go hard on it. You know what I'm saying? And then just keep on going and keep on going and keep on going. That's how it is. And then step 3 is you need to go hard, right? I just finished mentioning that you need to go hard. Right? I got too many of y'all sitting here telling me like, yo, you talking about painting the picture. You talking about finding my canvas and drawing and painting and giving as much detail as I possibly can. But Pablo, you know what? I know I don't necessarily like where I am, but I don't really know where to go, right? Well, I had an answer for that too, right? I said trajectory. If you don't necessarily like where you at right here, but you know you want to go that way somewhere, then just take the first step that way, right? But then people telling me, well, yo, I don't even know what that way is. I don't even know if I'm going to like that way. You know, grass is greener on the other side, Pablo, right? Maybe I'm good right here. It's the devil, better the devil I know than the devil I don't know, right? Nah, man, that ain't my philosophy, right? If I know I'm not supposed to be here, I'm gonna go try something else, right? And that's step 3 is going hard, right? Pick something. Pick something. Okay? It might be playing the guitar. Maybe you start to play the guitar, you don't realize you realize that you don't like it, right? Little secret here, okay? My son has no desire to be a farmer or even a gardener. You heard? But by going through that process, by going hard, by continuing through, by staying consistent with his efforts, okay, he got it. He liked it. He had a great time doing it. He felt so good about himself, right? But he realized, I don't want to be no farmer. I don't want to be no gardener. You know what I'm saying? But what he did do is he started to create that muscle. He started to create that momentum in his mind and his body of going hard for something, right? Of actually trying to do something to achieve it on his own. He started to build the watch me make it happen muscle in his body. So pick something, right? Pick something. And then Change your actions so that you can start doing whatever that something is. And give it all you got, right? You never know. You just might like it, right? You just might like it. You may realize that that's the canvas for you to be able to start painting your picture on it, right? Or you might find out that it's not, but at least now you have a better understanding. And in that process, right, you start to learn something. You can realize that you don't like it. Cool. Then you rinse, wash, and repeat, right? You go ahead and you find something else and you do the same thing and you go hard at it and you don't like that. Fine. You figure that out. You find rinse, wash, repeat. You find something else. You go hard at it, right? Now you sitting here you're like, Pablo, man, that's going to take forever. Just like my son was saying, right? This is taking forever. Nah, man. No. Forever takes forever. And you will forever feel regret if you don't give it all you got, right? Because you'll always be sitting there thinking forever. Man, what if I'd have done this? What if I'd have done that? You don't never get that time back. You don't never get that time back. You can't never get no redo. You could try it again today, right? But that time that you did it yesterday, you'll never get that time back. What if I would have went hard the first time? So when you pick something, I don't care if it's the first something, the second something, the fifth something, the 10th something, each time go hard at it, right? Go hard at it. Because yes, it may take a long time, okay? But once you find that something, once you find what it is that you were looking for, once you find that canvas and you start putting on your paint on that canvas and you putting all the details and you got that jump so detailed in your brain that you can start moving forward and you start building that momentum and getting closer and closer to what it is that you're trying to get. Man, I'm telling you right now, that satisfaction that you're going to have, that is what is going to actually last forever, right? You know what else is going to last forever? All the other qualities that you build in that process. You start to develop that muscle of watch me make it happen. And that's the movement, right? You start to develop that self-confidence. You start to develop that discipline. You start to develop that integrity within yourself. You start to develop the purpose, the drive, the inspiration. You see what I'm saying? All of these things that potentially you didn't have before you started doing this 1, 5, 10 times, 100 times, right? You start to learn that process, and in that process, you start to learn yourself. You start to position yourself better for the success that you're ultimately reaching for. Before you had that self-confidence, before you had that integrity, before you had that discipline, you wasn't ready to get what it is that you was looking for in the first place. Tell you the truth, you weren't ready to accept that canvas that you need to be able to paint that picture that you want. And that's the reason why you didn't have the direction. That's the reason why you didn't have the conceived idea in your mind. That's why you couldn't even think of the trajectory at that time. If you're going to receive something, you need to place yourself in the proper position to do so, right? If you're going to get blessed with something, if God is going to bless you with something, if the universe is going to open and shift for you to give you what you're looking for, you need to place yourself in the proper position to receive it. Otherwise, it'll go right by you. You may not have received that blessing that you were looking for. You may not have attained that level of success that you were looking for because you didn't have those inner qualities that you needed to be properly placed to receive it. Going through that process built something inside of you. We're all going to be in different parts and different areas and different starting points of that process. But going through the process is what's going to build those fundamental values that you need so that when you receive that success, when you get that blessing, you'll be able to keep it and you'll be able to build on it. Through the process, you've attained that proper positioning. And now we can watch you make it happen. All right, that was steps 1, 2, and 3. Check this out. I hope this helped you out. I hope it inspired you, right? I hope it motivated you, right? I hope that you take this opportunity of today to listen to this. Listen to it once, listen to it twice, right? Internalize what it is and take action, right? This is Make It Happen Mondays, right? I'm hoping that you use this as an opportunity to make today either the first day or another day in your journey of making the rest of your life, all the rest of your days, everything phenomenal, right? Like it. Share it. If you know somebody who this is going to help, share it with them. Call them up. Watch it with somebody, right? Subscribe to the channel. Do it all, man. But but just more importantly, join the movement of Watch Me Make It Happen, right? My name is Pablo Rivera. Watch me make it happen.
A level head on my shoulders when I'm in motion. I'm focused, thoroughly thought of my plans and the execution. You notice, ain't no time to think about it, only time to react. Your intuition under pressure, weigh it down on your back. I scribble thoughts in my palm, I sing it when I get home. Organize my inner visions while I'm chilling